Okay, now we are ready. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you have big goals this week, you guys, because we are doing awesome things. This is the best time to build. Seriously, with this promo that we have going on, I hope you're reaching out to everybody that you love and telling them about this promo to close out the month because really it's an awesome promo and it's something that we should be pushing hard. Just think of everybody that you possibly can, anybody that has ever seen the business, anybody that that you love, that you know for sure could benefit. You're going to want to tell them about this because it's a great promo and it's a great opportunity, especially with all of the exciting things that we have happening. I can't wait for TLA. You guys, the announcements are going to be so powerful, and you are all going to want to be there. But not only you, you're going to want to, especially when you get there and hear everything, you're going to be like, dang, I wish this person was here. I wish this person was here. I promise you. And so be pushing hard still to get to TLA and be thinking about everybody you possibly can to go because those of you who don't know my story, I'm just going to tell you really quick. Many years ago, I got in this industry and I was so excited. I just thought for sure, like we were just going to explode. We were going to have massive things happen. And then it didn't happen. How many of you can relate to that? Where maybe you had a big goal, but then it didn't quite turn out how you thought it would turn out. Well, that was me. In fact, my first 4 months, I really struggled. We had after 4 months of going to events and really actually being on the calls, doing the things that they told us to do. I only had 12 people on my team after working really hard. And I remember seeing all of these people just like, you know, exploding and having this big success. And I thought, what are they doing differently that I am not? And one of the biggest key things that it was just getting around the top producers, just learning from them and going to these events. And I just remember one time just really being frustrated. And one of my mentors said, listen, events are what are going to change your business 100% because you might go to an event, but if you're not promoting this to your team, it's hard for them to understand the value of what you have in your hands. And it's hard for them to feel the conviction and get the training and the support. And so she challenged me. She said, listen, we have an event coming up in Fort Worth, Texas. Now, this event was only 2 weeks away. And I was not planning on going to that event, okay, because I had a job to go to. I had things happening, didn't have the finances to make it there. But she said, if you want to make money and you want to make big money, the best thing you can do is go to this event. But not just you go, bring two people in three different lines with you. Now, you guys, I didn't even have two people in my third line at all. I didn't even have people in there. But she just said, do everything you can to bring two people in three lines. I took it seriously because I thought, you know what? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I'm going to follow this. And so we brought two people in three lines. Our third line, the two people that we brought weren't even in the business yet, but we brought them on faith. And because of that event, we got all of us, not just me, but all of us got the conviction, the training, the knowledge, everything that we needed, the tools, okay, to go out and explode. And from that event, we went from 12 people on our team to within 60 days, we brought in over 300 people with massive momentum. And then the very next month, we brought in 1,000 people. And then we rose straight to the top. And within our first year had built a multi-million-dollar business already because we took an event seriously. This is when I realized the power of events. This is when I realized the power of going not just to the event, but then also getting around the people who are making things happen. learning from them, growing. And I can't think of anybody better to
Providence.
explain. Whoops, let me do one thing. I can't think of anybody better to explain the power of these events and really what you can do to really explode in your business than Miss Tina Joy Carroll. Now, I just want to tell you a little bit about her. I feel so blessed to have her leadership in Trinont. Those of you who follow her, or those of you who have been on any of her calls or been able to work with her, some of you work directly with her, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this gal, she is fire. Okay. So not only does she have an incredible story, okay, uh, and I can't wait for you just to hear her story and really what she's done. But this gal has done everything. Like she has been the perfect um, not just I guess student, the best student in this entire industry, like followed the best, has been so diligent about getting around the people. She understands the power of association and getting around the people who are making things happen, are doing things right. And because of that, she has absolutely exploded. She is now an icon in our industry. She's a top producer, Red Diamond, and leading the expansion here at Trinont. And I just feel so blessed to have her. And so Tina has created something really, really powerful for TLA, something that she organized, that she made happen. And I feel so blessed that she did this because this is a huge opportunity for all of us. And so we asked her to be a special guest on this call to share what this is going to be for all of you. And Jeremy and I talked a little bit about it last week, but I want Tina to share a little bit about why she chose what she did for this event and really why this is going to be so powerful for you. So, Tina, I'm going to give the rest of the call to you. And I know, we're all going to go work out and do our different things, but I just wanted to make sure Tina was on so that you could hear what we are going to be doing in TLA. Tina, you take it away. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me today. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? It's Monday. Are you excited for the week? Are you excited for our last 9 days of the month? I'm one of the ones that actually love month end. I love the momentum that's built. I love the late nights in the trenches with people, helping them realize their true potential, helping them push past what they thought they could do to do more than they ever dreamed they could do. It's one of my favorite times of the month. But we are specifically here to talk about the team dinner with Mr. Eric Worre. And so I just want to give you a little history first about just some of you don't know my story. You don't know who I am or how I got here, and it's so easy when you look at somebody who's already a success to think it was just always that way and it was just easy for them and it's just only hard for you, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And so back in 2016 when I got into this industry, like all of you, I didn't have any experience. As a matter of fact, I was actually in sales, and I was in the top 10% in the country in my company, and the company was Lowe's. Pretty big deal, right? Like I even have a trophy up here from Lowe's. Like I was in sales. I thought I'll be a shoe-in for network marketing. I mean, I'm selling 60, 70, $80,000 decks to people. I could sell some supplements. This can't be that hard, right? Like that's where I was at. I was thinking I was going to be a shoe-in. Boy, was I wrong. I actually spent more money than I made in my first 13 months, meaning I was buying the products, I was going to the events, I thought I was doing all the right things. Turns out I wasn't, and I'm going to share more about that. But what I really want you to understand, I was 115 pounds heavier. I was not some overnight success, but what I did understand from the very beginning, and I hope you hear me here, was that I would see a lot of people quit. And I thought, okay. So all I really have to do is just keep showing up. And I could have success at this thing, right? And as I kept showing up, I developed more of the skills, right? And as I developed more in the skills, then the business started to grow. But it wasn't because I was the most talented. It wasn't because I was even the picture of health and wellness. I was 115 pounds heavier. I wasn't going to a gym. I looked like I needed to put down the ho-hos and pick up the supplements is what I looked like I needed to be doing, right? And so it wasn't like I am who I am today in the very beginning, right? But I'll never forget in December of 2016, Eric Worre was doing a 12 days of Christmas giveaway. And he was giving away tickets to the most powerful women in network marketing the following March. And I won. But I was like, well, this is great. I got this free ticket to this really cool event, but I can't afford to go. I can't afford to go. Because now, at this moment in time, my husband's company that he worked for was filing for bankruptcy. We didn't know if he was going to have a job. He was actually traveling to interview at different companies just to have a plan B because you don't know what's going to happen when a company files bankruptcy. And on the outside looking in, it looked like we had the perfect house, the perfect cars, the perfect everything. But on the inside, we were like, okay, Jesus, we're trusting you because we're not sure how we're not going to lose everything at this point. Okay. And so, come time to go to this event, I'll be honest. I was like, okay, babe, we're going to figure out how to get me here. And if I can't make something happen, I probably should just quit and I should go be interviewing for jobs. Right. And I'll never forget, I was sitting in that room and I was watching all of these people in this room. And he said, at one point, he said, if you've earned six figures or more, I want you to stand up. And so many people stood up. And I'm talking about in the industry of network marketing, six figures, not six figures outside of the industry. And it dawned on me then when I seen all of these different peoples from all of these different backgrounds who all looked very different, that were all earning a significant amount of income inside of this space. This was not an industry problem. It was a Tina problem. And what I realized in that moment was all of those events. Matter of fact, this is the most powerful women of network marketing book that they gave me whenever I went to the event. And all of those notes that I took, how many of you have notes after notes after notes after notes after notes after notes after notes? And if you could win a prize for the most notes taken on the trainings you've been on, you would be the champion of note taking. Well, it dawned on me that's what happened to me. Like I had a lot of knowledge up here. I was writing down all the notes. Like I knew what to do, but I wasn't implementing what I learned because that's where you get uncomfortable. It's easy to sit in a room and take notes, right? It's easy to then regurgitate those notes to other people. The hard part is when you have to pick up your phone, open it up, and start to talk to real humans about what you had your hands on. And so I decided then I didn't care how uncomfortable I was. I didn't care how unqualified I felt. I didn't care how unworthy I felt. I didn't care who would make fun of me. I didn't care about any of those things any longer. I was going to do the things. And the next month I made $4,000. And in that time, it felt like 4 million to us. And suddenly, like I get emotional thinking about it because it was never an industry problem. It was a Tina problem. It was a Tina taking action problem. And what if I had not have had that realization? And I can just tell you this, my grandchildren wouldn't be going to a Christian private school that we get to pay for because of this industry, right? The things that we're able to do to bless our family and help our children, our grandchildren, strangers, our community, our church would not be possible without the industry of network marketing. None of that would be possible. The impact we've had on thousands of people's lives would not have been possible had I not gotten out of the note taking and into action taking. And so, since that time, you guys, I have made it a point. I never miss an event. And just like all of you, I've had every reason not to be able to go. As a matter of fact, that event that I went to that day or that weekend, we flew me there on miles. I did not get paid until the day after I got there. I had to carry food with me. I shared a room with four other women. One slept on the couch, two slept in each bed. And it was one of the crappy hotels in Vegas, not even at where the event was. You know what I'm talking about? The crappy ones where people smoke in them and you're like, dear God, if I don't come out of this with emphysema, it'll be nothing short of a miracle. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like just bad. But I just knew with everything in me, I had to be there. I had to be there, and it didn't make sense. As a matter of fact, I went to a friend's house. Her name's Alicia, and I borrowed clothes from her because I didn't have the money to go buy the clothes so that I could look like I was a businesswoman. I didn't have that money. And so after that, I just knew I could never miss an event again. I had to be in the room where I could learn the skills to go out and create the impact that I knew God had placed in my heart. How many of you just know that you know that you know you're here for a reason? Like there's never been a doubt in your mind that you know you were brought into this industry for a reason, right? Things have already changed for you, right? Whether it's been the relationships, the people you've met, the inspiration you've felt, the product testimonies you've had, you're here for a reason. And so one of those mentors to me has been Eric Worre throughout my journey. And, you know, I would imagine, just like with anyone in the world, people have varying opinions about people. But here's what I can tell you. How many of you love our champion circle? Like the champion circle, you're like, dude, I get jazzed out of my mind to get that free jersey, right? Like when we launched that to the Trinont Associates, people literally, I'm not making this up. I don't know this to be factual, okay? But I'm like, I bet people are signing up their cats and dogs to get that darn jersey, right? People's hamsters are associates here at Trinont because they wanted that jersey. Did you know that came from a mastermind with Eric Worre? The power of one. How many of you have done the power of one? How many of you participated in the power of one? Guess who that came from? Eric. And here's what I love about Eric. Eric has this overall bird's eye view of this entire industry. And he takes everything he's seeing from every company, service based, product based, doesn't matter. He's taking all of that information and then he's bringing it back home and he's saying, this is what works now. And so that is so important, right? For us to know exactly what's working right now, not what worked a decade ago, right? I mean, Mindy and Jen built, honestly, an insane business in hotels, belly to belly, flying all around. And it's what worked for them then, right? Now we live in the age of technology. We live in the age of social media. So, not that, trust me when I tell you, I still love to be face to face, belly to belly. But I've been able to build a thriving business with strangers on the internet. And so, why would you want to be in this room? Well, first of all, let me say this. I've been a part of Eric's mastermind for 2 years now. To put that into perspective for you, it cost me $31,000 a year just to be in this mastermind. Now, who in their right mind would spend $31,000 a year to be in a room? People who have vision, people who want to grow, people who understand that you're actually paying for the fast pass to success faster. You can shave years off your learning curve by getting in the right rooms. You can shave years off your frustration by getting in the right rooms. And so when I reached out to Eric, because we were doing TLA, and I was like, hey, it's going to be in Vegas. You already live there. You won't even have to get the jet out for this one, but buddy, but I can't pay you your $150,000 speaking fee. I'm going to have to ask for a favor. Can I do that, Eric? Can I ask you for a favor? Because we are getting ready to launch a digital product. Now, make no mistake, I still don't know what they've put in this product. They have me and Mindy and the rest of the diamonds trying. All I know is it makes me feel like Tina 2.0, which is wild. I was already like the Energizer Bunny. I keep asking him, I'm like, what is in it that is making me feel like this? I feel incredible. Make no mistake, that product is incredible all by itself. But this digital product we're launching, dare I be so bold to say it'll outsell products? Dare I be that bold? Actually, my vision is that 1 million people in my organization will be on this product because everyone's going to want it. And so I said, Eric, listen to me. We're launching this product. And I know you will be able to paint a vision for them around this about how powerful this can be. They need to hear from you. Because it's like, how many of you know this to be true, even in your own organizations? You tell your team to do something, and then Mindy comes along and tells them, they're like, oh my God, you're never going to believe what Mindy said. And you're like, the same thing I've been telling you? That's lovely. I'm so glad you heard it from Mindy, right? Like, you're just like, it is what it is. We're never a prophet in our own country. And so now you're going to have Eric Worre, you guys, in front of your people, telling them how special what we have our hands on really is, and then giving them strategy on how to go out and build a business around what's launching and what we already have. And he's doing it for free. And I need you to understand that. This man doesn't do this. He doesn't show up at team parties. He doesn't do that. I mean, he will if you pay him $150,000. Anybody got the funds? Want to ship them on over? Right? He just doesn't do it. But he said, I will, because he believes in what we're doing here. He believes in this industry so much. And his heart is bigger to give back than to take. And so I want you to be in that room. I want you to get to hear from him personally. We're going to be giving away 50 of his books from GoPro. We're going to be giving away, I know Mindy's working on some things that she's got too, that she's going to be bringing. We're going to give away. I don't want to give away all the details. Okay. Trinot's given us swag to give away. Pretty much, we're going to have so much to give away that 2/3 of the room is going to walk away with something. Plus, you're going to get a nice sit down plated meal inside the Paris Hotel where you won't have to go anywhere else. You'll go from one room to the next. It'll be super convenient, and you're going to get to be around the momentum and the excitement of what we're doing. Now, can it feel a little bit like, oh God, 140 something more dollars to have a meal? Can I just tell you, let me just paint this picture for you too, so that you understand the number of people behind this making this even possible. So when we started looking for spaces to have a team party. If you did not know this, you're about to know. Vegas is one of the most expensive places to have an event because I don't even know the right word. If I'm saying this wrong, just forgive me. Okay. Like the union is involved. And so let's just say they have to come and set up chairs, and it only takes 15 minutes to set up chairs. You have to pay that union worker 4 hours, even if it only takes them 15 minutes. Like the amount of money it costs to have an event there is absolutely insane. And so when we looked at it, we were like, we're just not going to be able to do this. Like it'll end up costing someone $300 per person to even have an event in this space. Like this is crazy. So we reached out to Shannon at corporate and we're like, hey, do you know of anything within a reasonable driving distance where we could have this event? And she's like, well, why don't I just see if the owners are willing to let you use one of the spaces that we've already paid for? I was like, shut up. Are you kidding me right now? And so she did. And they were like, absolutely. So we're thinking we're home free, right? We're thinking, oh, thank goodness we've got this space. Now all we have to do is pay for the food. Well, sweet baby Jesus, do you know how much food costs at an event in Vegas? The exact price of your ticket. I kid you not. And that is with Trinot, get this. Not only are they giving us the space, because they'd already rented all of that space for this event, they get a 30% discount on food and beverages, but it has to go through the house account. So then we had to go ask the owners for another favor. Oh, Russ, Scott, Lauren, I need another favor. Can we put it on the house account? I swear we're good for it. We'll give you every penny. And they said yes again. Yes, again. So not only do we have Eric coming, the company giving us the space and their discount, and all of these incredible prizes, just so that this team, and when I say this team, I want to be very, very clear. I know each of us have our own team names and this and that and the other, but can we just all agree we're Team Trinot? We're all on the same team. We're all running in the same direction. We're all have the same thing, doing the same thing. So we're one team. Make no mistake about that. Okay. So that this team, Team Trinot, could have a successful team dinner after the fact. And so my question is, why aren't you going? Why aren't you going to be there? Everything is aligned perfectly for you to get a ticket at the absolute cheapest possible price. And let me be clear about this. Mindy, Jen, myself, and Sonara have spent a few $1,000s over the price of your ticket to cover fire marshals, inspections. I mean, the craziest things you've ever heard of in your life. You're like, my God, in heaven, how does anybody have an event in this space, right? We're covering those additional costs so we didn't have to bring that back to the associate. Here's what I can tell you. There's something magical and special about being, as a matter of fact, Tiffany Abel, she's on here. And when I have to leave here in just a few minutes, I'm going to let her speak to this because she got to experience this in June when we did an event in June. There is something incredibly magical about making that last minute decision because that's what Tiffany did in June. Tiffany wasn't going to come to the event in June. She'd actually just done an event. And she's like, why do I just kind of did one. Why do I need to go do that one? But she figured it out and she came and it shifted everything for her. As a matter of fact, are you at 13 or 14 recruits for this month?
13.
Stop it right now. She's basically built out a whole new team and then we got 9 days left. Are you joking? And so here's what I want you to do. The, there are two real skills that pay you in network marketing. Would you like to know what those are? The first one is you got to talk to people. We're not ever going to make any money if we don't talk to people. Okay. That means talking to new people and following up with people that we talk to. That is where the money's made in network marketing. The second way money's made in network marketing is event promotion. If you will go personally to every person in your downline and you will invite them and you will be excited and you will share a story. You will share this Zoom with them. Mindy will have it recorded. She'll get the recording up. You'll share this Zoom with them about why they need to be in that room. They'll get there. There's no way somebody like Mindy or Jen or me or Sonara or any of those diamond above leaders could message every single person in our organization. But if we all stand up as leaders, if we all go out and make sure. And then here's the other thing. How many of you have ever recruited somebody that said they didn't have the money, but then ended up buying one of the bigger packages? They ended up buying the builder. They ended up buying the elite bundle after they just told you the 10 reasons why they didn't have the money to partner with you anyways. The same will be true for this. You think you recruit somebody into the business and then you're done and you're home free. Oh, no, no, no. You got to re-recruit them. You got to recruit them to the events. You got to recruit them to show up on the opportunity presentations. You got to you continue. Actually, the real work begins once you get them in the door. And so are you doing that with your downline? Do you understand statistically, every butt you have in a seat at an event, statistically, you'll make $1,000 more that year? $1,000 more. Do you think it's worth your efforts to individually message every single person in your organization to make sure that they're at this event and then they get in this room with Eric Worre? Do you guys know that when we put these tickets on sale, we were a little nervous because we were kind of late to the party with it. It definitely isn't a cheap ticket because the food, I think they fly this food in from like Jerusalem or something as expensive as it is. It's insane. Okay. I'm not sure where it comes from, but it's got to be the best food in America. We thought, oh God, I hope we get a big enough show because we've got Eric coming. I can't be made to be fool of. We sold out in 36 hours. And then we were in a real pickle. We were like, oh crap, we got people that still want to come. What are we going to do? Back to Shannon. Shannon, I got to ask for another favor. Do we have a bigger space we can use? Is there anything else we can do? Can we make the space bigger? And she went to work and she figured it out. And we right now have about 100 tickets left, a little less than 100 tickets left. I fully expect those to sell out.
Mhm.
So all you have to do is A, get your ticket and get in that room. I'm telling you, you will be changed by being in the presence of people like Eric Worre. You will be changed. Why do you think I still continue to pay him that kind of money? because I understand the impact of getting in the room with him. Your net work is what actually builds your net worth. Do you know how powerful it is for your social media that you're going to be able to take photos and videos and content in that room with Eric there and share that out? It's crazy, crazy powerful, you guys. And I'm telling you, from a woman who had no business selling health and wellness products, no experience, no following. I was like everybody else in the world. I had about 1,000 Facebook friends, zero followers, no talent whatsoever. I looked like a buffoon when I started this thing on social media. That my success a decade later is in direct reflection because I got in those darn rooms. I made it a point to get in those darn rooms. And instead of just being a note taker, I became an action taker. And so, my challenge to you is this: everything will come against you to try to keep you from getting in these rooms. You will have some real great excuses. But let me ask you this. I was reading a post about a month ago from a good friend of mine named Darnell, and he was talking about when he first started his business a couple decades ago that he had to miss his daughter's birthday party for an event. And it made him sick. He's a good dad. He's a dad that shows up. But he told his little girl at the time, this was 26 years ago, he said, Daddy has to miss this one so I never, ever have to miss another one. Today, they're multi-millionaires because they made a commitment to the long-term vision of what they set out to do. Let me mute a few people real quick. There we go. So don't allow the things coming at you, the resistance coming at you, keep you from it. That resistance is a sign it's where you're supposed to be. Resistance to your calling on your life is a sign that you're moving in the right direction. It means you run through the resistance to get on the other side of it faster. You don't back down from the resistance because it won't stop. And each time you back down from the resistance, it becomes harder and harder and harder. Has anybody ever seen, I wish I'd had this prepared, but I didn't know I was going to say this, the reel about the buffalo in the storm? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Well, I'll get it shared. I'll find the buffalo story. I'll send it to Mindy so she can share it with you guys. But basically, it just talks about how a buffalo, when a storm is coming, they run towards the storm and through it because it's the fastest way. If they run from it, the storm chases them. If they run through it, they're on the other side of it. Are you going to run through your storm today? Are you going to run through your storm so that you can get on the other side and have the success that you desired? And I want to say this too. Success requires sacrifice. Some of you aren't stuck. You're stubborn. That's it. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to unfollow, maybe unfriend, or even block people that are distracting you because it's just a distraction. I'm not listening to, following anyone that dares to threaten the call I have on my life. And some of you are sucked into some of that. And I don't know why. I want you to understand something. Do you understand? For my second year in a row, we're the top producing team in the company. And I don't need a congratulations for that. That isn't why I'm telling you this. Why do you think the people that are the top producers are still sitting right where they are in this company, in this comp plan, with these products, with this leadership? Because they know what they have their hands on. So I want you today to make a commitment to the dream you started. And that commitment requires sacrifice. That commitment requires you to stop being stubborn. That commitment requires you to go message other people in your downline and you re-recruit them. You re-recruit them to the event. You re-recruit them to the team party. You figure out creative ways that they can get there. Maybe you've got to bunk up with 5 or 6 or 7 people in a room. Who cares? It's a few nights. All I know is this, it's going to be incredible. It's going to not only the event, not only the party, but the event itself. The things that the diamonds know that they are going to give you outside of just the free product, you're actually going to get a full bottle of the product that's got Tina on 2.0. You're going to get that when you leave. There's so many other things that you don't know about yet that you're going to get to experience and be a part of. But you won't if you don't get in that room. And I want you there. There's something different whenever you get in a room, in the right rooms, and you're loved so well by the people in them. So I'm going to let Tiffany, if you don't mind, Mindy, since she's on. I didn't even plan this, but I think she's just the perfect person to close this out because I do got to get to the gym. I got 23 minutes to get there. So Tiffany, let me tell you about Tiffany. Tiffany is just incredible. Okay. Her dedication to this business and to this team and her family is just unmatched. She doesn't make excuses. She doesn't look left and she doesn't look right. She is laser focused on what she has in front of her. Her 13 recruits in this month alone with 9 days left can show you that. But she shows up with just such grace and humility. She shows up for people she'll never make a dime on. She is just one of the most incredible leaders. And just so you know, she's not even on my team. That's the beauty of what we have our hands on here. You get to be in the circle of people like Tiffany. And so I'm going to let her share her story with you back in June about how she wasn't going to go and then decided, I think it was an 11-hour drive she had to drive to get to that event, and just how impactful that was for her and why you want to be in this room. So love you guys. I'll see you later.
Good morning, everyone. So Tina reached out oh, to Angela when Angela and I we were sitting on the balcony in Florida. We were doing a team retreat, and she wanted to know if we were coming to her event in Tennessee. And Ange was already going because we had been talking about it. And I said, Ange, I really, really, really want to go. And if you guys don't know a little bit about me, I have 3 daughters, one outside the home, 2 in the home, and my youngest has special needs. So that is my kind of my hold back on to where I can pick up and just go at the drop of a hat. It's the care for my youngest because getting care for a child with special needs is a little difficult. And it would have been a turnaround and go in 2 weeks, and that's hard. So I looked at Ange and I'm like, oh, I said, I can't. And she says, well, Tina said if you go, she's going to put you up on stage. She wants you to talk. And I'm like, oh, it's such, it's just an honor to be asked to even, and I was taught from day one in the business when, an upline or somebody asks you to do something, you don't say no. But this was something I couldn't do because of the care of my child. And it was like, oh, and I felt so bad, but this time it had to be. So later on, this was actually, I want to say it was like Tuesday or Wednesday. Rob messages me and he says, Tina's in my inbox. And I says, oh yeah? He goes, yeah. He says, you want to go to Tennessee this weekend? I said, Rob, I said, I don't think I can. And he says, are you sure? And I said, well, I said, my mother-in-law is taking Claudia. Maybe I'll just send a message and see. Well, all of a sudden, next thing you know, my husband comes home and I said, guess what? I said, I'm going to Tennessee. I love you. And we just up and we went. This was Wednesday and we got in a car on Friday and we drove to Tennessee. And I will tell you, it was the best. Not only did we go to Tennessee, but we got VIP tickets. It was the best decision I had ever made. God puts things in place when they are meant to happen. And it was meant to happen because it created a whole new connection, a whole new lifeline. And since then, it's totally postured me up, changed things. You need to get to events because there is magic that happens when there's butts in seats in person. It's all new things, all new connections. It's one thing with connecting with people on here, but being in the rooms in front of the information will totally change. You just need to find a way to get there. And as far as the Eric Worre training, I'm going to lay one thing out for you. I've been to Vegas so many times. What she is offering with Eric Worre is absolutely pennies for dollars. Because if you think about it, if you want to go somewhere and get something to eat, you're going to stand in a line, especially if you want to go eat with your friends in a group. They're going to add this horrible group gratuity onto your bill. Then to get a decent meal, you are looking at least 75 or $100 for a plate. And it's insane. Now you're looking at what is the ticket, Mindy? 150?
Uh-huh. 140. Yeah.
149. So for 149, you're going to get a nice catered meal brought to your table. You're going to be in a room with like-minded people with the same goal, and you are going to have Eric Worre training you and teaching you how to use and launch and utilize this new product. Absolutely amazing. And if you have not gotten your tickets, grab your tickets because everything all in one place, a meal, training, and having your teammates there. And like Tina said, the social media content you're going to create is stuff that you can refurbish for months. I am still refurbishing content from Florida, from Tennessee, from our trip. I mean, the little road trip that Rob and I took to Tennessee was great. That was actually the big kicker on how he got me there was because I just didn't want to get back on a plane again. But there's all little things in play, guys. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. And connect to all of your downlines. And if they're not on this call, take little notes and quick write down what I just said about the pennies for the dollar on the meal and the training, because that is the best way you're going to pitch it to somebody when they say, "Oh, I think spending another $150 for something, I can't do it right now." They can't afford not to do it right now. They cannot afford not to do it because number one, it's a tax write-off, full on tax write-off. Would you rather give $150 to Uncle Sam, or would you rather put the $150 down towards your growing your growth in Trinant and then writing it off instead of paying it in? That's the way I look at things. I tell my husband all the time, "Oh, I bought this for the business." I said, "Don't worry, it's just a write-off." And he just smiles at me. And it's the best way to go because it is just the best way to go. So take some notes, pitch it to your team in that way, penny for dollars, a great meal, great companionship, a learning, and you're going to be all on site, all on site. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to turn it back over to Mindy and go out and just claim the day, make it yours, set the pace for the week.
Awesome. Tiffany, thank you so much. And we are so excited about your growth too. Congratulations. You are killing it, girl. And Tina was absolutely right. She is always, just at everything, making it happen. Commitment is really the key, you guys. And that's really what Tina or Tiffany and Tina both have done. They're 100% all in, committed. And truly, I know, I always say it's not about your ability, it's about your commitment, right? For me, many, many years ago, it really was the same thing. My first 4 months, I struggled, but it was because I wasn't all 100% committed, ready to make it happen. And you take on this commitment, you guys are going to be able to do some massive things. And we wanted to make sure we did this call because this dinner event, it will sell out. We truly believe that it will. But in order to get your ticket, We have to close this out this Wednesday night at midnight, September 24th. And so, anybody you're thinking about that does not have their ticket, make sure you reach out to them. Get this recording to them. I'm going to drop this recording into Power Players right when this is done so that you can send this out to people that you've been wanting to get to this dinner, because we will not be able to sell any more tickets after this Wednesday night at midnight. We have to get the numbers to the caterers. And so by this this Wednesday, today's Monday, by this Wednesday at midnight, okay, September 24th is the closeout of this dinner. So get everybody you possibly can to this event, get them to register, because we do believe it will sell out, but also we do have to close it out by Wednesday night, midnight. So I'll drop this training into and this recording into Power Players right now so that you can send this out to everybody that you love. Let's get everybody we possibly can to TLA and then to this dinner, because this is going to be so powerful. And I want to let you know, okay, Tina said she's got prizes. We also do as well. John Maxwell, when we were on his council, his advisory council, he wrote a book, The Power of Five, just specifically to network marketers. And so we're going to be bringing a bunch of those books, giving those away along with other swag and different things. And so you're going to want to be there and get as many people as you can there. Okay, we love you guys. Again, thank you, Tiffany, for sharing. And I know Tina is not on here, but wasn't that so powerful? Like, it was absolutely incredible. I love, where she came from and what she's been able to create. And I will just tell you, when you see somebody like that, okay, I wish you would have seen me so many years ago when I was a preschool teacher. I had no business being in business, but for me to be able to do this, for Tina to be able to overcome the things that she has gone through to be where she is today, I want you to know you can do this too, okay? Anybody can do this. If you have a work ethic, if you are committed to make changes in your life, it's all just about taking action. It's all just about doing the work, the things that we know we have to do to make it happen. And one of those things really is to get in this room. So, okay, we love you guys. And I can't wait to see all of you at all of our events. Tomorrow night, I'll be doing an event. Again, it will be our overview. So Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time. You get the people in front of me. I'm going to help you sign them up. We're going to get some massive things happening. Now is the time, by the way, to get the people in front of this. With this promo that we have going on, with the announcements that we have going on, now is the time. Take advantage of this time to go build. Okay. Love you all. We'll see you all very soon. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.